Try and sue me. All right, here we go. Now we're on. All right, so here's my.
Did he just freeze up?
I think he just froze.
That didn't take
Still
long.
read it.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's
Yeah, I
back.
thought he was there. Brady and Tampa, they go into playoffs. Yay or nay?
I say yes.
You say yes. Okay.
I say that's
Danny?
a good team. I think Brady just puts them over the top. I think they have plenty of talent there.
I say they win the division. I say they're probably. Oh, they don't get. I'm not gonna say they're gonna get a bye, but I'd say they've been a 2 seed.
Okay.
You think they'll win the division?
Yep, I do. I do.
New Orleans.
I think they do. I think offensively, I think they are the most complete team. Absolutely. Offensively,
Who's their running back?
doesn't matter.
Oh, doesn't matter.
No, I'm serious. I think offensive line wise, I think weapons on the outside. I think they're going to draft a running back. I think it can do running back by committee. I'm guessing you're thinking New Orleans.
Oh, I think New Orleans is way better offensively.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who's their number 2 receiver?
What in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Whoever they throw out there.
Yeah, that's why I think they're more because I think wide receiver
is their number 2 receiver.
Who?
Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
I just think wide receivers are more valuable than running backs right now. I think you can
not guys that can catch 100 passes out of the backfield though.
Yeah.
What do you think, Keith?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think defensively, I think they're sound. I don't know. I just think dude's old, and I think at some time it's going to fall off. And I think
I'm not as high as Dan is. I was thinking like a 10-6 type season. Make a playoff push, get a wild card, and see if they can win a game. But I don't think they're better than New Orleans.
See, I think if Drew Brees plays a full season, I think they're 1-5 in the last. I mean, do you remember Drew Brees 2 years ago? It looked like he couldn't throw the ball further than Bernie Kosar.
And they still won 13-3, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it'll be interesting though. I think that division is still legit. So I don't know if they'll just, I don't think they'll run away with it, but we'll see. All right, Cam. All right, Dan. I need you to explain to me the whole. You'll take Jameis over Cam.
Oh,
if Big Ben is hurt.
I'm sorry.
If Big Ben is hurt, you're taking Jameis over Cam.
I am. I just think he's younger. I think he's better. And again, you never know with Cam's health. He's better. He's better.
That's what I wanted to see was Mason's face. Just like, wow, really?
Dude, again, in another year, you guys will take Jameis over Baker. I mean, if Baker has another season like last year,
we're gonna get. Hey, Dan, we're gonna get there. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. All right, we're gonna get there. But go ahead, you keep talking. So give me your points.
I think Jameis in the right situation where he's not asked to go win games. I think I'm just that's where I'm at with him. I think Cam.
Nick Foles.
You think he's Nick Foles?
Well, that's what Nick Foles is. Someone that isn't asked to win games, but just be a game manager.
So you think Baker's going to go? You think Baker's going to be asked to win games?
Oh yeah.
So in 3 years, when you have to pay him $40 million a year,
we're not trying to predict the future. We're talking about right now.
So you think Baker right now can go win games?
I think he's being asked to win games. Yes.
Oh, he doesn't have to be winning games. He can hand the ball 30 times to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. He doesn't have to win games.
How did it, Keith?
I don't.
Can we go back to the original question?
I know. I'm still wondering how he went from he was younger, and then he said he was better, which I still can't wrap my head around how he's better than Cam.
Better than Cam. Right now, he is better than Cam Newton. Have you seen Cam Newton play in the last year and a half?
Have you seen Jameis?
Yes. He threw for 5,000 yards last year.
and 30 interceptions.
Yeah, according to the experts
Oh,
on NFL Network, 9 of those interceptions were not his fault. I
oh,
was just listening to that the other day.
oh.
According to
He's the only quarterback that has that, though, right? He's the only quarterback that has.
No, they did not say that. But according to the Matrix, that's what Santa Claus Dion said.
Okay.
Have you seen Dion's beard, by the way?
He
Yeah.
looks like an old man.
Yeah, he
He
does.
looks like Santa Claus.
He does.
But yeah, so no. So I'm taking you guys would both take Cam over Jameis.
I would. And as a Browns fan, I would be much more worried if Cam Newton took Ben Roethlisberger's place after Ben's arm falls off than if Jameis did.
Really?
Yeah. I'll take my chances against Jameis.
Here's my big thing between the two, and I like Jameis. I really do. I mean, I'm not a Jameis hater by any means. You know, we've had this conversation before. Cam Newton's an MVP. I mean, and when he's healthy, I think he's always in the MVP running. And when you look at it, look who Cam Newton has thrown the football to for the last 5 years. A bunch of guys you never heard of. Where Jameis has thrown to 2 Pro Bowlers and still not, winning any game. So I just think Cam's a better athlete. He's a better thrower. I just think he's a better quarterback. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's close.
Wow.
All right. So going off of Dan's little tirade here, that was my next point was going to be what's a successful season for Baker Mayfield this year? What's successful?
Let me start.
Yeah.
10 wins.
Okay. 10 wins.
And to be honest with you, if I don't even care about the numbers when it comes to him, it's all about 10 wins. It's all about getting to the playoffs, and it has to be this year. And I don't think you can settle for anything less. And I know all the Steeler people are going to be all out there talking about, what Dan's going to talk about here in a little bit, but it's this year, and I don't think there's any excuse for not making the playoffs this year. The only thing that I can say is Pittsburgh's going to be a good team. We know that. And Baltimore is going to be one of the best teams in the AFC, and we know that. And Cincinnati is going to be improved, and we know that. Their schedule, playing the NFC East and the AFC South is way better than it has been the last 2 years, where they've had to play a lot of playoff teams. But it's 10 wins, and it's getting to the playoffs, whether that's a wild card or winning the division. That's a successful season for Baker. That's a successful season for Stefanski. That's a successful season for all those guys. It's playoffs or it's not successful season in my book. Go ahead, Dan.
That's successful, but Danny, what you got as a Steelers fan?
I'm actually going to say, as much as I don't like to agree with Mason because I hate to, I think you're right. I don't think numbers for Baker is going to be it. And I honestly think if I'm a Browns fan, I'd like to see Baker throw about 20 times a game. I mean, honestly, 20 to 25. I mean, because I think as a Steelers fan, your backfield scares me way more than Baker. So I think you winning 10 games, 11 games, and I think in order to do that, I think you have to beat Cincy twice, and you either have to split with the Steelers or split with Baltimore. I do agree with you as far as the schedule goes, but you know as well as I do, in the NFL, Washington's going to beat Pittsburgh, Baltimore, or the Browns one time. I mean, just because they're going to, and they may not have nearly the talent of any of those 3 teams, but.
And really looking at that schedule last year, I know I was guilty of this. In the preseason, you look at that schedule and you see San Francisco on there and you think, well, that's a win. And there they are in the Super Bowl. So you don't know, but I just – the way that NFC West played last year, that was a meat grinder for Cleveland to go through. Like I said, I hope that this year, Washington and Philadelphia and the Giants and even Dallas. I think Houston's going to be down a little bit this year. We'll see about Indy. Jacksonville, I think, is going to try to lose every game this year. So, hopefully.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing I disagree with is I think it's going to be tough because if the Browns get the 10 wins, but they get the 10 wins by running the football and playing solid defense, and Baker just manages a game, as Dan was saying, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to pay that dude or you're not going to pay him. And if and I think he has to have a year where he has some wow moments at least a couple of times a game. I'm not saying he's got to put it all on his back, but you trade it for what, Hooper or whatever, tight end. You've still got OBJ, you got Jarvis. I mean, I think offensively they gotta. I'm not saying they got to be the greatest show on turf, but they're gonna have to be good. I mean, I think
the thing is, Keith, even like you said, they have to decide whether to pay him. Really, after this year, you still have 2 more years to make that decision. So I don't know that this is the year where you jump in and say, oh boy, I don't know, is he worth 25? Is he worth $30 million a year? I mean, I think you still have time for that. Right now, it's all about the team success, and I don't know that it means that he's going to have to carry them. I mean, I think there are going to be 5 or 6 games this year that he's going to have to go out there in the fourth quarter, and they're going to have to sling it around. And I feel confident with that, but we'll see if he's able to produce.
So last thing I got before we go to the bucket list is OBJ trade. Would you trade OBJ?
I don't have a problem. I know that Twitter Nation and everybody else gets all fired up about all this stuff. I don't have a problem trading OBJ if, and this is a big if, I know the rumor to the Vikings is big. If they could get Anthony Harris back in that trade and get a first round pick, and I don't even think Minnesota has a first round pick.
You got 2 of them, don't they?
Minnesota does?
I thought Minnesota had 2 first rounders this year.
I'm not sure, but the only way that works for me is if you can get that starting Pro Bowl type safety back, and then you sign a Jason Peters or Trent Williams, or trade for one of those guys, and then at 10 you take one of those other receivers, whether it's Judy or Lamb or something like that. I don't think you can go. You can't roll into a season with Jarvis as 1 and who knows at 2. They're already a little thin there right now, so I would much rather them keep him. I think that the media is revving him up a little bit, because I didn't see him get angry this year. I didn't see all those things that everyone wanted to report on. He wasn't throwing helmets and all pissed off and things like that. So I think he's fine. Just throw him the ball 6 or 7 times a game, and you hope that he makes big plays and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all you can do. I think that's all you probably can do. Yeah, I don't know if I'd trade him or not. My worry is, I think it comes along with him. I just think he's that guy who you're always going to hear stuff about. There's always going to be something.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dan's boy Antonio before he just went totally crazy.
Listen. I am not a huge Browns fan, but man, oh man, you can't compare OBJ and Antonio. Like, as far as like attitude wise, I mean, I think last year OBJ was a good soldier. I really do. I don't think that he was a malcontent whatsoever. Now, I disagree with you on the first round tender. I think if you get a decent second round pick for him, I think that would be. I mean, if you're looking at what like receivers are getting right now, I mean, holy cow! Can you I would take DeAndre Hopkins over OBJ. Now, granted that I totally lost my train of thought. I love my kid. Totally lost.
DeAndre Hopkins trade, you can't use that as.
And I was gonna say that you really can't.
Brandon Cooks went for a second rounder.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, I agree with you on the aspect of getting back a starting, a Pro Bowl caliber player. I think if you get back a Pro Bowl caliber player in a second, I think that's a very fair deal for him.
All right. So, I'll take all those. That's good stuff. Your boy D5 just texted me. Said, oh man, oh crap, I forgot. Right now? Question mark. And I'm like, yeah, jump on. So so he might be joining soon because again, he's never late. He's
No,
always right on time, baby. Right
that
on time.
doesn't seem like him.
That's awesome.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop this recording, which I don't know if it'll affect the screen or not, but I'm gonna stop this one so it saves it. And then hopefully DeFi will jump on here. Then we'll do our bucket list stuff, and then we'll have two. But we'll just stop this one here. So I'm about to stop this one, and then we'll make it happen and see if he actually jumps on. I don't know. Derek Philo, baby. All right. So this is stopped.